Good morning. It's I think it's day 14 on the PCT. I'm just coming out of the town of Idlewild. Took a 0 there yesterday. I'm out of breath already. Before I headed into town, met a young guy named Connor. We split it's like a mini cabin at this place called the Bunkhouse. The first night, and then the second night on Expedia, he found this like really large log cabin. So there was like 5 of us that split the cost of that thing. I think it had like 3 or 4 bedrooms and a couple TV areas and that type of stuff. It was huge. But there was a big storm that came rolling through, and it was already getting nasty the night before I headed into town. And then last couple nights was pretty bad on top of the mountain, so it's more of a safety thing to take the day off, but I also got some good rest, so it's glad to have some time off before I finish out the San Jacinto mountain range. And I'm left town with like 7 days of food. I've never carried that much food weight before, so these next few days will be challenging, hiking through all the snow, but onward we go. Just ran into San Jacinto John. He does a great job trying to help keep hikers safe on this mountain. He basically climbs San Jacinto every day, and he publishes like a online trail report on his website. And then I think about once a week, maybe more frequent, he does like a YouTube video kind of showing you the trail conditions. And then he gives, based on like how much snow and ice is still hanging around on the mountain, he gives his recommendation for PCT through hikers as far as what type of snow equipment he recommends on bringing. So it was really cool meeting him. I think Connor, aka Sticks, is just behind me a little bit. Gave him the trail name Sticks because he showed me his food bag, and he doesn't carry a lot of food. I think he added it up. It's about 12 or 1,300 calories for the whole day. So anyway, I think we're both conditions look favorable, at least so far. I think we're both gonna try and summit the main peak of San Jacinto today, which is at, I think, a little over 10,000 feet. And then leave Fuller Ridge for the morning hours, let the snow harden up so we can get across safely with our ice bikes. It's another kind of, I guess, dangerous spot in these mountains. So onward we go. I'm at 9,100 feet of elevation. Actually, I think it's like 9,188, so almost 9,200. And looks like for the time being, the snow travel has come to an end and back to there's that dirt track. So it'd be nice if it's like this to the summit. About roughly like another 800 to 1,000 feet or so to climb up to the summit. Palm Springs is just below this mountain here. Over there was a tram. I guess you could, it's about 2 miles off the trail. You could walk down to the tram and I guess take the tram into Palm Springs. So that's pretty cool. It was getting pretty steep. Apparently this is a little higher than I thought it was going to be. It's currently at like 10,400 feet. The summit's at like, I think it was 10,812. Still another 400 feet of climbing. And the snow is softening up a bit. I made it to the top of San Jacinto, elevation 10,813, roughly twice as high as Mount Katahdin in Maine at the end of the Appalachian Trail. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Behind me here's the emergency shelter for San Jacinto Peak. They really don't want you camping in here unless it is a tree emergency. But in case I can't find my way back to trail, I'll be finding my way back to this shelter here and using it for its intended purposes, because it's been kind of difficult. These tracks are not necessarily following the trail, so I'm going to do my best to find my way back to the PCT. Coming up to San Jacinto, it's kind of like an alternate route. So you kind of get off the PCT for roughly like 4 to 6 miles and then go down the other side of San Jacinto to rejoin it. So that's basically what I'm doing today. So onward we go. Looks like they got 4 bunks in here. And I think there's like some emergency supplies of like food. I doubt there's water in here, but some food, some ladders, shovels, rakes. Looks like a sled in case someone gets hurt. They need to be pulled out for an emergency. Yes, coming down this when there was only one set of footprints was a bad idea. I was trying to connect up with the tracks that circle around back to the PCT. Unable to find it. I'm just trying to get back to the way that I got here, which is down very steep in front of me. I'm just taking my time, kicking steps in as I go. I already had to self-rest once with the whippet. Don't want to ever have to do that again. So I'm just trying to get back to basically the general track for the area I came from, so I can find a place to set up camp and resume tomorrow morning. Finally back to somewhat safety, back to the foot track where I was on, headed up the mountain, and I just came down on that. I just came. Probably see my marks up there, man. That scared the shit out of me. I don't never want to repeat that one again. Well, I finally made it to camp. It was, total miles per day was a little over 13, but only like 2 miles of that was the PCT. The rest was summiting the main peak of San Jacinto and then getting turned around trying to find the loop to meet back up with the PCT, and then eventually just coming back the way I had started today. So I'm back on the PCT trail. Basically, I haven't skipped any PCT miles because I could never do the loop around I was trying to do. But I'm just gonna eat dinner, go to bed, and hopefully tomorrow goes more as planned than more to plan than today did. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you all have a good night. Good morning. I think it's day 15 on the PCT. Getting a late start. It's like 8:30. Took a while. One, it was freezing last night. It's freezing this morning. So I wasn't getting up early to get started. And then once I started packing up, I use these, all these rocks over here. Basically buried my stakes in the ground last night and set the rocks on top of it. Well, that made for a difficult morning. Rocks are frozen solid to the ground. Not to mention my shoes are like just a block of ice, and so is my water. So I had to use my whippet. So thankfully I had this. I was able to use it as like an ice pick. I had to chisel away at all the ice around the rock just to get to my stakes. But up for this morning's full of the ridge, and I'll start descending pretty rapidly here. So yeah, onward we go. There's a hiker, Becky, a little bit back. She had fell in some ice and sprained her ankle. A group of us walked with her for a while to a trailhead. We're a couple day hikers. We're gonna help her down the mountain. And after yesterday's incident with the self-arrest, side full of ridge, I want to kind of be with some other folks when I do some of these sketchy areas. So we're going to cross that with a couple folks later today. So safety in numbers. Feel much better that way than going across by myself. That was a bit sketchy coming down. Full of ridge straight ahead. Been cutting across this hillside for, I don't know, the past half an hour or so. It's been pretty exhausting and a little slippery. Got to camp a little bit ago. It was only 10 miles today, but it was a really tough day. Went over the Fuller Ridge area in the San Jacinto mountain range. That was really tough and slow going. Many parts was only like a mile per hour getting through there. So almost through the San Jacintos. Tomorrow will probably be the last day in it. I think I got about 19 miles down to the highway, but it's a lot of descent from where I'm at now. I forget, it's somewhere between like 5,000 to 7,000 miles of feet of elevation loss in like those 19 miles. So get up tomorrow and hopefully finish out this section. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you all have a good night. Good morning. It's day 16 on the PCT. Just getting started. Sun's out. Hopefully it's going to be a beautiful day. Should be the last day. Yeah, basically the last day in the San Jacinto mountain range. We got, I forgot to look this morning, but I think it's somewhere between like a 5,000 to 7,000 feet descent to get down to Interstate 10. And I think I still, after today, I'll have about 4.5 days food, which should be enough to get me to Big Bear. But yeah, just getting started today. I think I'm finally done hiking in the snow for now. My body's really worn out from so many consecutive days hiking in the snow, going over some of those steep, I guess like side paths, or crossing the mountain on the steep terrain. That was pretty tough, but onward we go. Kind of crazy how quick the landscape changes in just like 4 miles. Yesterday was all snow. Now it's like starting to get like more deserty. It's like a sandy pack today. It's much nicer to walk on, and going a bit quicker than walking through the snow. Hiking with Renee and Shane again this morning. They just stopped for a break. I'm gonna continue on to the next water source. They're headed into town tonight to Cabazon to stay at a hotel and resupply. I think I have enough food. Like, after today, I'll have about 4.5 days of food to get me to Big Bear. So I'm gonna keep going, see how far I can get today. But it was great meeting them and hiking with them, and appreciate being able to kind of stick with them yesterday through some of those sketchy sections, like full of ridge. So that was really cool. But yeah, man, the scenery has changed so much today. This is really cool. Onward we go. Oh, just past the 200-mile marker. The second one, 100 miles, was much tougher than the first 100. But glad to be this far. So 200 down. I hear a rattlesnake and I don't see it. That's worse than seeing it and hearing it. Oh shit. There we go. Well, I ran into my first rattlesnake. Problem was, I could hear him but not see him, and no matter where I moved uphill, it sounded like he was in one location. Moved downhill a little bit, it sounded like he was in a different location. So I guess the best thing was I went up behind that big pile of rocks and then down to where I'm at, and he's somewhere over there. But boy, was he pissed. All set up for the night. It was a little over 15 miles and finished the San Jacinto area. So glad to be done with that section. Tomorrow's the Mission Creek section. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you all have a good night.